I really do have a belly in it. Yeah. They're the perfect guitar player for read between my grips. I have to get Ed in there.
That's right. We're missing Ed.
Right.
So, songwriting.
I'd be... Well... Songwriting. That's a difficult subject. Really, it is. You know? How do you come up with
why did we decide on writing original music?
Because we couldn't play anybody else's. Yeah. That's probably where most of it came from. That's right.
So, why did we play the music we played? Why didn't we play classical music?
Why didn't we? Too many chords. Why do we play the music we play? Because it was the influence of our time.
That's right. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Passion inspired there. That's what drove us, and that was the end of that. It's all summed up right in that. It's all about feeling. If you enjoy what you're doing, go with it. You know, make life happy. And if you're only God in your own mind, it's cool.
Yeah.
Just inspires you to do more. And eventually you get better.
So we had young people looking at this going, how do I start songwriting?
Depends on where your level of guitar playing and is, and what your passion for music is. You know, if you're
we'll just assume that they know all their chords and all that stuff, or where to put their fingers on the guitar or whatever keyboard. I don't know the notes, so.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say, try to put together a song, and give up halfway through because they discover it's, kind of hard. I mean, when we first started putting together songs, it was, we had a band together at the time. So it was like a bunch of group of guys that hung out and started jamming away on stuff all the time.
Everybody gave their input this way.
And then we started putting all these hooks together. And, some of the stuff sounded cool, some of it sounded like crap.
Well,
but they all, it sounded crap in the way that it didn't go along with the song.
Like when I tried writing lyrics, right? I'd write out the lyrics, I'd have the melody in my head,
right?
And I'd go through the song, and then when I'd sit down and actually play it, I either had too many words for the song or not enough,
right?
Because it was laid out differently in my thought pattern,
right?
Than when it actually came out. So, it depends on where your skill is. You're better at writing lyrics and whatnot. I can put a melody behind something else, but I can't make a package fit together.
Right. So we ended up working with each other.
Yeah.
Back and forth and getting, synchronized kind of a workflow together. A lot of times I would come up with a lick, or you would come up with a lick, and we would go, "Oh, that's cool," and let's add this to it and that to it, and then we start creating, basically a verse, then a chorus, or usually it started with the chorus because it had the hook in it, and then we would go ahead and start putting it all together, and then
you'd try something and nope, that didn't work.
Right.
I have a thought about how it should work. So how do we make this work? Well, maybe you have to change, certain notes or whatever for your chord down or for a step up or whatever.
Right.
As long as everybody's on the same page, then it'll work. You'll iron it out.
That's right.
Just don't give up on it.
We went a lot with feel. Like, we knew where the the names of the strings and a lot of the notes were. We knew where the chords were, but we didn't really know our fretboard that well.
No.
And all we did was go on feel with the song. So
a lot of songs that are written, I think, I think the better songs that are written are ones that are inspired by passion or that you feel the feeling in the song if it's from a circumstance of life. It's out of a story, a chapter of your life,
right,
rather than just making something up.
Yeah.
You know about that.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of my songs are written about my ex-girlfriends.
There you go. There's a whole lot of passion and discovery right there. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it was life experiences. So, but as we were writing, as we were putting together this slosh of chords and making it sound kind of half-assed nice, a lot of times I would be thinking of what would sound good, like as in a melody for the lyrics. So through my head, as we're doing a lot of what we were, the chord progressions and everything, I was thinking in my head, well, what would be some cool phrases vocally through it all? So that's where my headspace was.
The nice thing about doing it that way is you don't have to structure a chord pattern. You
Right.
can concentrate on what you should be concentrating on instead of trying to put that's why it wouldn't work for me, because I would try to put the chords and the lyrics all in and it just doesn't work. At least not for me, it doesn't.
Right. You think if you would have had a machine there to record what you were doing on the guitar and then
put lyrics to it or vice versa? Yes, absolutely. I don't care if you got just a little crappy tape recorder or something and you're just going to sit down and noodle around on your guitar, right, or whatever. How many riffs will come out of thin air from nowhere? If they're on tape, then you'll go, I don't have to remember how did I do that, Then you can go ahead and structure off of that. You got a foundation, just build on it.
Right. Yeah, and we discovered that with this song that we were just making. Actually, it's the intro song. There's actually lyrics for it, and we discovered as we were writing, as we got the chord progressions down and recorded it all. We went ahead and put a vocal track over top of it and discovered that there's some holes in it, and instead of saying stop, hold it, and throw it out, throw the whole idea out or whatever, never do that. You keep what you got and work on it some more. So with the intro song that you heard there,
it may even come in something totally different,
right,
down the road somewhere. It
right.
wasn't even meant for that song, but you go, hey, that works.
Right.
You never know what's going to mesh together or what's going to happen from any lick or riff.
So now we've got this song with some lyrics, but we got a hole in it. We got a patch in there. What happened was the phrases in the vocal for the chorus stopped before the turnaround, which got us into the verse again, and it was empty. So we have to figure out what to put in there. So we could go in with some sort of like some sort of a fill where I don't know,
It
put
can
some.
be vocally or it can be guitar.
Yeah, I'm thinking more vocals because we've got enough guitar going on in
You don't
it
want to
already.
make it muddy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe doing like the old '70s style, na 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 na, or something in there, that
Right.
and maybe do some uh, some overdubs of some vocals in it.
Or
And that sort of
elongate the like illusion.
right illusion.
Yes, kind of idea.
thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things we're going to go ahead and try and do some experiments with it and see what we can figure out for it. And you'll discover this with creating songs yourself is, you find these holes and, you deal with them. You got to patch them up, figure out how you're going to fill out that song. I think this is this is the first song that we've worked on since the band broke up in like
20 some years ago.
Yeah. So it was kind of neat, but I don't think we encountered that kind of a problem before.
No, everything kind of fell into place. Yeah.
We kind of got into where we would start writing songs, and it almost like we had a thing where we were stacking it together pretty well with each of our songs, and yeah, it was it got easy. I guess when we start getting older, we start.
Your passion can't, like, I took how long? I guess you could call it a sabbatical, 20-year one. Just without playing guitar, or even listening to a lot of music, because when I was growing up, probably like anyone growing up, you listen to a lot of music, and you know what band is on the radio, and it's all
Right.
there, right? You take that space of time, you do lose some of your flavor out of your passion. But I noticed over, like, how long we've been doing this now since we got back, a month, 2 months,
Yeah,
maybe.
about a month.
A lot has come back.
Yeah.
And it's re-inspired me, and I realized, a lot of the stuff that I left behind. Life, gets going, you're working, you got kids, and so on and so on, right? Other priorities.
That's
When
right.
you're 20 years old, you don't have to worry about that. For the most part.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it wasn't like we were 20 back then.
Well, no.
We were late 20s in the 90s.
Yeah.
Only some of us weren't married yet, so. Yeah, right after that,
I don't think
yeah.
any of us were. Yeah. I mean, my wife and I were together, but
Yes,
we weren't
yeah,
married yet.
you guys.
We waited a long while.
Right.
But
And then, then I got married after that too, and then kids. Lots of kids.
wouldn't change anything. I like what I did in the past, and I like now that I've life is more structured and whatnot. I can go ahead and do this now. It'd be great to come back to it.
Right.
Feels good.
Just writing though, not performing live.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go out and get together with some other musicians. There's a ton of musicians around. There always is. And that way you get influenced by other people too. You know
Right.
what I mean? Oh, hey, yeah, I like the way that,
Yeah, back in the day, we were mostly influenced by like Sabotage. That was, we liked those big, heavy guitars that really bottom end sound. It was just before grunge showed up and ruined everything.
Detune your guitars and pound away. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And speaking of detuning, we redid one of our songs just recently, and after recording everything, we realized, yeah, we did detune our guitars a long time ago, and trying to do vocals
When
they weren't when they weren't detuned. Yeah, it was a little bit hard to go ahead and reach those notes, especially when you haven't done it for a long time. So
yeah, I hadn't
and
my vocal cords either.
and I've lost a bit of the growly in my voice.
But I like the way Illusion sounds. I think it came out really well. I like the way the lyrics sound, the vocals.
But the whole thing is to get a song down so that it can be clearly heard. And the patterns can be clearly heard, the words can be clearly heard, so that if somebody likes the song and says, "Hey, I want to cover that tune, but I want to go ahead and give it Cookie Monster vocals on it or whatever."
Whatever, yeah.
They can do it.
The structure's there.
Yeah, everything's there, and it's a cool heavy tune, and it's what they want to cover, so they can go ahead and add their vocals on top of it. In fact, what we should do with our songs is put them out there with our vocals on it, and then put out a version without the vocals on it. So if somebody wants to go ahead and sing on it, they can. Yeah. Back in the day, I was not intending to be the vocalist. And we had a lot of people come in and try to do vocals for us. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's getting a thought across is a difficult thing.
Yeah. Like we were saying, yeah, I originally was not intending to be the vocalist. I like to write the songs and I like to write the lyrics, and we tried to bring in a whole lot of, like, we put out an ad, at the music stores to have somebody come in and sing. And we would, have the tune laid out. I would go over the tune with them, and it was like, oh, yeah. Sometimes it was pretty scary, and sometimes it was, it was all right. I mean, we had a girl come in.
Other factors too, though, like their lives would get complicated from something that's going on in their lives, and that didn't work out. But they were good singers and so on. So there was a lot of obstacles.
Right. We had girl singers and guys too, and it was it just ended up we just gave up, and I just did the vocals, and as we went on, my voice broke in and got growlier and heavier.
Yeah. Because
I was getting used to it, but now 20 years later, I don't have the growl I used to have, but that's fine.
It's okay. I don't have the speed I used to have.
That's right. Yeah. We lost the speed and everything too. It was the 80s. You had to have
lots of speed.
Yeah.
Cool licks and so on. But it's coming back slowly.
That's right. And speed isn't really that important anyways. I mean, I'm sure somebody could come along and take one of our
like crazy,
take one of our songs and noodle away on it and make it sound awesome, super awesome with a solo over top of it. But the point that we want to, the whole point of putting out these songs is to give somebody maybe some material that they might want to use.
Or if you like them, just listen.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Listen or
share it
or improve them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. As long as you have anyone who is thinking about writing their own stuff or doing their own stuff, I'm sure they've come up with licks of their own, but have only gone so far with it. Keep at it. It'll come together.
Right. Play with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. They'll even influence you in different ways.
That's right. Always go to the jams. I mean, there was lots of jamming when we were young. Tons of it.
and lots of musicians.
Yeah.
You know, how many garages, how many jam sessions in, you know, in different places, and you know.
Yeah, we used to go to that place, the Headbones Gallery,
Yeah.
and that was what's her name? Julie.
I think that was
Julie was her name. She owned the like this art gallery, and during the nights she would just host a jam, and everybody would show up and just, you know.
There were a lot of musicians that come there. Yeah, everybody knew about it.
That's right.
There was never a complaint or anything.
And it wasn't like our band showed up and did it. Like just basically me, you, and Ed at the time, or
Anyone,
me and you,
yeah.
or whatever.
Anybody drop in off the street, if they knew about it, they grab, you know, bring their acoustic or the electric or the drumsticks or whatever. There was a kit there and everything, you know, vocals and the whole deal.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was cool. Okay, so we're also going to post the lyrics whenever we post a song. So when we might even do it karaoke style, put the lyrics at the bottom, and so you can sing along with it if you feel like it. Put your own feel to it.
Just enjoy it.
That's right. All right. So all we got to say today.
Look for your comments. Let us know what you think.